How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I'm your host, FaZe Crypto, and this video we are going to be looking at a bunch of different cryptocurrency related predictions that are circulating the web as well. I will be providing some of my own analysis and, of course, making some predictions that I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy hearing. So it's going to be a pretty interesting live stream, I think. Yeah, how's everybody doing? I think it's a pretty interesting day for cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and all these different things. I think I think right now we're sort of my first real prediction is going to be more of the same, as basically the title of my first prediction is. I expect things to move sideways. I would take the 2019 start as sort of the first month of 2019 is sort of a good indication of what we can expect to see. I'd say more of the same. I'd expect Bitcoin to stay within this $3,000, this 3,000 to 4,000 seems to be a pretty stable price mark where we're seeing it right now. Of course, still subject to a lot of different variables, but at the same time, my other prediction is going to be involving XRP and sort of how I think a lot of people overlook what's happening with XRP. I got this article right here. Ripple can be the dark horse cryptocurrency of 2019, involving a Ripple price prediction. So many of the investors are looking for cryptocurrencies which they will actually rise significantly. Most of the investors are looking at lesser known cryptocurrencies or mainstream like Bitcoin and Ethereum. The truth is that it can be Ripple, which could be the dark horse crypto of 2019. And I think it's in part is due to a large extent what we saw happening with JP Morgan recently, and how they've sort of bursted out onto the cryptocurrency scene lately. Yes, Digibyte we'll be talking about in a moment. Right now, I think we're seeing some pretty interesting indications of, this article right here is kind of says it all. Forbes and a lot of these different news, like mainstream news places, they seem to be as much as we like to think that they're ignoring cryptocurrency, they have a new article on Bitcoin almost every single day from one of these big companies and so forth. So it's definitely something that's pretty prevalent, and I think it is the future still. I think that Forbes and all these different news outlets are well aware of the implications of what cryptocurrency on the horizon is going to actually have. So we've got this article. Tech Guru said they still believe in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, trapped in a painful bear market for over a year, has lost some 80% of its volume since it hit an all-time high of almost 20,000 in December 2017, leaving many investors concerned that Bitcoin price may never recover. While the Bitcoin price has struggled, Bitcoin supports have remained hopeful it will continue to grow, with likes of Twitter's Jack Dorsey and Tesla helping praise on Bitcoin. And of course, I think which that right there brings me to my next prediction, which of course will be we will definitely see more of these celebrities sort of coming out of the woodwork and giving their cryptocurrency, for lack of a better word, opinion, which will essentially amount to like a backhanded compliment. I think that sort of is the trend that a lot of these big name people do. They sort of give like a cryptic remark. A lot of them are pretty lukewarm when it comes to coming out as a full endorser of cryptocurrency, just due to the volatility in a lot of these different aspects tends to shake people's confidence to a large extent. However, I mean, of course, someone like John McAfee and his predictions have been pretty worth mentioning, in this line of dialogue. So, it's been several months since McAfee tweeted specifically about Bitcoin price. It seems the latest prediction seems of course. If the price of Bitcoin were higher, there would be more liquidity on the network. We could be having a really different discussion with banks right now. And I think this topic of liquidity is definitely going to be one of the forefront things on the chopping block, especially as we near the middle of 2019. A lot of these different things are difficult to ignore to a large extent, and it's definitely something that needs to be discussed before we move forward. And I think as the space continues to develop, we'll definitely be seeing that topic of liquidity reaching a lot more of the mainstream conversation. But Tab Conf, basically scalability panel, discusses running a Bitcoin full node as virtual signaling during a scalability panel at the recent Tab Conf event in Atlanta, Georgia. The question of why users should run full nodes was posed by moderator Goodman, who in chief Mehmet, of course, at Proof of Work in their responses. So there's this ill-conceived notion that running a node helps the network. Later added, there's some point to that, I guess, because you're helping people who aren't running full nodes, which that's debatable in itself whether you should do that. They basically leech the cost off of you. And I think when we're talking about that sort of aspect of the tech side of cryptocurrency, this is a pretty interesting thing that a lot of people wanted me to cover. So I recommend you guys doing a little bit more research to that effect, because it is, whether you like it or not, having a pretty big impact on it's going to have a impact while things shape up in either or direction, specifically as Bitcoin and all these different things come to the forefront of these sort of things. So this is a Bitcoin faucet, yada yada. I think this right here is an interesting indication of what we've been talking about, this sort of trend that we've been seeing developing, a lot of these different things to expand upon on that note. Bear flags paying off. 5 must-read cryptocurrencies for 2019. So let's check out some of these other people's predictions. So for institutional investors, the highest level of confidence will probably be for Ripple and its XRP token, followed by Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Stellar Lumens. This definitely plays into the prediction that we were making, now that we were discussing earlier, which is especially with JP Morgan, this resurgence of how a lot of people call Ripple a crap coin, but it's more about I think when it comes to Ripple, the interest has to do with how people perceive the activities that are happening behind the scenes. I mean, Ripple's received a lot of they call it crap, whatever. But yeah, they they give it all these different nicknames, but at the same time, that I'd say, I mean, I'm following the money. I mean, where we see the banks and all these different things making these moves, I mean, it's certainly a thing that we really can't ignore, especially with the space being where it is. But so, quote, on an individual basis, most firms have spent less than $500,000 on blockchain. However, a good 11% of the survey's respondents have spent more than $10 million. Why is blockchain budget item that isn't going away anytime soon? That's because this technology reduces errors and streamlines operations because everyone is looking at the same numbers, said Richard Johnson of Greenwich Associates. And I think this really does encapsulate interesting point that I want to include in my prediction as well, which is more and more of these, especially with what we've seen, the academic credentials that like something like Cardano has gone for. These different things are certainly relevant as the tables keep turning, and we see a lot of these different blockchain related elements of running a business. I think the first business, as far as my prediction, I would say that the first businesses that are able to integrate blockchain into their method of doing things is certainly going to be a big hallmark as far as pulling ahead of the competition, like using blockchain in all these different areas. And it definitely has a lot to do with the associated points that can be connected to how businesses are actually able to evolve in the modern day. But during a scalability panel at the recent TabConf event in Atlanta, Georgia, the question of why users should run full nodes was posed by moderator Thao Goodman, who is chief of we already talked a lot about this, but when we really look into cryptocurrency charts, the first chart is the chart of Bitcoin in 2019. It's a kickoff. What happened since we originally published the article is Bitcoin fell through its rising channel. This is not the most bullish development, admittedly, but the whole point of that, this is part of the corrective cycle in the context of the second bull market with subsequent bear market. Exactly the same happened during the first bear market. So I think, when we're talking about the Game of Thrones sort of thing that's happening with cryptocurrency right now, we have to take into consideration the entire context of how the space is developed from its, the cryptocurrency was at its all-time highs, both in price and in public opinion around crypto is much developed, around that sort of area when we want to talk about like the $20,000 Bitcoin, something like the comments that we saw from Elon Musk and all these different things would have pumped the price severely because as the space was sort of new. It was receiving a lot of attention in regards to how people would go about approaching it was much different than now, and this quote sort of is relevant to that. Note the similarities on Bitcoin's price chart and with the April to November 2018 trend. A strong support got broken to the downside right at the time when resistance got touched. Will this time be different? Presumably yes, because if there is one thing that market trend to do is go against the obvious. If the whole world looks at a breakout similar to November 2018, likely the opposite will happen. That's how the market works. I think that's pretty relevant when you think about when people tend to be all running in. Those of us who are experienced traders are essentially trying to get out as fast as everybody is trying to get in. And I think that's where you find yourself if you're in the know when it comes to a lot of these different signs that we see. So at this point, I mean, it is an interesting game that we're playing, without a doubt, and we can expect to see some pretty interesting things, I would say, directly on the horizon, with the market cap being where it is at 27, and of course Bitcoin dominance at 52. I think it'll be interesting to see how the space continues to progress from this point forward, and I think we'll see if these predictions come true in the long term. Of course, I would say that we'll probably be seeing a lot more mention of cryptocurrencies in like Hollywood and all these different things. I mean, just as sort of a side note, more people sort of getting involved with the conversation about digital currency, as things continue to move forward. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little live stream, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a nice day.